Okay, guys, in this video, we're going to talk about Brutus I. This is another required document. Okay, so you get the 9 required documents in AP government. Brutus I is the one we do after Federalist 10. The reason being is it's a response to these early Federalist papers that are trying to get support behind the Constitution. Brutus I is written by the anti-Federalists. So whereas the Federalists wrote the Federalist papers, right, the Federalists being basically the elite, the rich at this time, the landowners, that want a strong central government that's going to protect their property. The anti-federalists do not want this new constitution. The reason being is they're like, we just rebelled against this very powerful government in England. Why do we want another strong, powerful government here in the United States? So what they want to do is they actually just want to amend the Articles of Confederation to make them more effective. They do not want, in large part, everything that is included in this new constitution. So again, written by the anti-federalists. Let's take a look at the background here. Okay, so it's written by the Anti-Federalists to dissuade readers from supporting the Constitution. Anti-Feds did eventually agree to the Constitution because of the addition of a Bill of Rights. What we get in the Bill of Rights is our civil liberties, things like freedom of religion and free speech, and there's a lot in there about what the courts can't do and the rights of the accused. So, spoiler alert, the anti-feds do eventually agree to the Constitution, and in large part they agree to it because of the addition of the Bill of Rights. Okay, so here's basically the arguments in Brutus I, which I'm going to show you now. Here's why they do not like the Constitution. All right. One is the necessary and proper clause. The necessary and proper clause is a particular power in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. It's a congressional power, and it creates what's called implied powers. It allows Congress to kind of go above and beyond what's in the Constitution to exercise their powers. It freaks out the anti-federalists because they're thinking, hey, this is another reason why this new central government is going to become too powerful and basically become, and what we're going to have is tyranny. They do not like also what is the supremacy clause. Okay, the supremacy clause says the laws of Congress, the Constitution itself, is supreme in the United States. So now a state law cannot contradict a federal law. If a state law does contradict a federal law, the federal law is what is going to win out. The state law is going to be null and void. Representatives in government will be too far removed from the people in a large republic. Okay, so that was one of the arguments there, right? The idea was, let's create this large republic where groups can compete. They're saying this thing's going to be too large and too far removed from the people. Therefore, the voice of the people are not going to be heard. They said all of the important powers are given to the federal government. What the Constitution does in Article 1, Section 8 is it lists all of these powers to the federal government. Some of these are really big, like coining money and regulating interstate commerce and such. And they're basically saying all the important stuff's given to the federal government. Not much is left for the states. Okay. They said the power to tax will lead to an abuse of other powers. Think about it. If you can tax, that's going to make it so that now you can have a much larger standing army. If you have the power to tax, that may make it so that that makes your power of interstate commerce more robust. Basically saying that this power to tax is going to spill out into the other powers and make them much too powerful. The anti-federalists did not like the idea of a standing army. They felt like that could be or lead to the destruction of liberty. And they felt like the federal courts would destroy the state courts. Okay, so here's your Brutus I arguments.